Come from a family of artists. Art was all around us. It was our playtime. It was our peers. It was my parents' friends. We had great exposure through the gallery. My parents have a art gallery in Akron, and one of the greatest experiences I think I received during my childhood was sorry about that. My parents taught at a school in North Carolina called Penland School of Crafts. And it was initiated by one of the early movers and shakers in the craft movement, teaching people of that area skills to create things to sell. And Penland School of Crafts artists hires artists from all over the nation, really skilled artists, to come and teach summer programs. And my parents would do 2 to 4 week sessions in the summertime, and we were like the rugrats of the mountains during that time. So it gave us a real opportunity to meet some of these top artists, go into their studios and explore the arts. So we became friends with basically the children of those artists, and we were able to do metalworking, ceramics, woodworking, photography, and just kind of explore the landscape. So to me, arts were really a form of playtime, and it wasn't until later in my life that I sort of translated that into livelihood. But yeah, I think that was a very influential experience for me because I got to see really high quality art forms and learn from them. And I'm talking more in the crafts, less in the visual arts, but that for me and my family was kind of a huge experience. Well, first, I think I'd start by saying that I don't know if many people know this, but my father is quite the character. He's Don Drumm. He's a sculptor in the area. He and my mother, Lisa, own a gallery in Akron. And my dad has a real sense of humor and playfulness. And I find that growing up with that, I have that as well. And so a lot of my work is very whimsical or has that sense of play. And my mom, when we were growing up, she is a fiber artist or was trained as a fiber artist. Her father actually is a well-known painter in Erie, Pennsylvania, and not many people know that. So we have kind of art coming from both directions. But my mother used to create objects for us to play with that had a sense of discovery. So in her fiber art, she would create dolls that would unzip and something would be inside for you to explore. So I have a fiber sculpture called the Tooth Fairy, and in the top of her hat are a string of coins that you open up, and in her chest would be the teeth that she had gathered. So I think the way that I translate some of that playfulness or the sense of discovery in my work was that when I create illustrations or designs for some of the three-dimensional work I do, I have an image and there are pieces of that story within the image that tell the story. So the idea is that when you look at something and you focus in, you see the original piece of art, but then you can focus in to gain more of the story. So sometimes within a female character's dress, I might have a landscape within and some of these elements that are telling the story of who this character is. So that's sort of the sense of discovery in my work. And then the playfulness in some of my like etched glass, where a lot of times we like to put a story that will wrap around in the bottom of the bowl. So not only you're discovering, but we're also sort of playing with that. And I do get sometimes characterized as having sort of a youthful style. So I'm a very good fit with children's art and the illustration and things like that. I started a little black market of craft goods while at school. So students would come to me and ask what they could buy from me before they went home for Christmas. So this was happening naturally, but I didn't yet understand that could be my livelihood until I graduated. And then I was going on interviews, but I really enjoyed the process of creating things with my hand. And my parents encouraged me to explore selling my products to galleries. And I was able to do so and didn't have to look back. As far as translating into the community work, my graphic design skills had come back to help me with some of these projects. So I've done a lot of work with some local organizations. A lot of times it's T-shirts, doing design. So I've done Stage Fest and the Porch Rocker. I've done T-shirts for the food bank, and we've done printed growlers and things for different organizations. We work with a lot of church organizations creating gifts for some of their patrons. So I've been able to work through my art with a lot of the communities by using those graphic skills and also combining it with our skills, what we're able to handcraft it within our business. Art allows people to connect. It allows people to explore, to think outside of the box. And in my opinion, all these skills are really important for our students in engaging in a competitive world. And one thing we've learned more than ever during this time is that we can't be narrowly focused, that we have to be more open, and we have to be able to change with the times. And I think that art and that method of thinking and exploring is a way for people to better understand and pivot. So I actually feel very strongly about the inclusion of art and how it's such an accepting form.